Hello, everybody. Wednesdays podcast here on all the Quest channels. Glad for you to join us. And from Canada, we have Judy on the line. Hello, Judy.
Hello, John. Hi, everybody. Good to be here as always, and I think we have an exciting night ahead. Stay tuned.
Yep. Let me get my hellos in here, Judy. We got Sandollar and, of course, Jeff M. I hope you're feeling okay. We got Kurt. Thank you for your support, Kurt. We got Anthony in the house. Cindy can hear us both, so we're good to go, Judy.
We are good to go. We always know when Cindy has come in.
Kylie and Ruffan, first time live, caught this live podcast. Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming in. Please subscribe. Please support if you can. Look around. See what you like.
Welcome.
Hello, Ashley. And Caroline, thanks for coming in. There's Gloria. Here's the bass. He's in town. Dee Dee, what's happening, Dee Dee? I haven't made it to your shows in the morning. I have been having bad back problems. So these muscle relaxers are knocking me out for a loop. So I missed you this week. I'll catch you next week, Dee Dee. Thank you so much.
Hi, Dee Dee.
What a drawer she is, Judy.
Yeah, she is. She is a beautiful drawer.
And crafts maker. Unbelievable, the stuff they do.
In my next life, I'm going to be able to draw.
Dee Dee,
I've already put in my my plea.
Dee Dee says, hi, Judy. Tammy, hello, Tammy. How are you? Tammy Hurst. Carla, hello, Carla. So all you got to do is hit that link above my show here on Facebook. This way I can see your names all at once instead of going from Facebook to StreamYard back. They just take your profile picture, and that's all. They don't take anything else private or anything. They just take your profile picture and your name. Hello, Scott. How are you? Hello, Daniel. Good evening, John, Judy, and fellow Questers. I have my sword and shield ready for tonight. You better be ready. Johnny's going to go really ranting once I get all these hellos in. Holy schmoly. Holy Muyan. Dee Dee Williamson. William Ham. Dee Dee, you're the best. Unbelievable support, Judy. She's always coming through. Just unbelievable. Thank you so much, Dee Dee.
Thank you, Dee Dee.
Hello, Jan. Hello, Oscar. Got a pretty good crowd for a Tuesday. What day is it? I don't even know what day it is anymore. Wednesday. Lordy 40. All right, let's get our thank yous in on the YouTube side. Hello, Doug W. This is for our guys on the paid side. A captain is only $2 a week, but they don't get a lot of the perks as far as, Osprey Muins or video they get right away and all that stuff. Hat discounts. If you're a marshal for 24 months, you get a free hat. If you're a master in 3 months, you get a free hat. There's a lot of good things on there. And these are the guys that support us and keep us going. I enjoy everybody's support. I know everybody can't afford it, but it costs to run something like this here, even if the show's not on. So I thank you all for your support and people supporting now. Hello, David. Hello, Gloria. And these are a couple of people that are high on my list here. Hi, Lori. It's Sandra, Wayne, Carol, Virginia, Gary, Rebecca, Becky, Person, Caroline, Barbara, Starlene, Jeff, Mark, Sandollar, Roxy, and Jazdia, and also Joanne and Harvey for their continued support. I thank them so much. Also, I got Judy on the line. Judy, thank you for all you do. You might have to bail me out after tonight's podcast, And I thank you for everything you do for all the membership, Judy. Thank you.
You're welcome, John. I love doing it.
And to Daniel,
and I will tell you out.
And to Daniel Spino, the professor. What can I say? Just go to the Quest of Oak Island, look at all his research, all his in detailed research, way more than the show shows. You go to our group, you'll know what's going on. The show just shows bits and pieces, but if you want to understand step 1 to the final step 25, you go to our Facebook channel, Quest of Oak Island, you go to Dan Spino's statements on there, and you'll learn. Even if you don't want to learn, you'll learn. I thank you so much, Professor, for what you do. Also, we got to thank Osprey Muyan. He's been flying around, so we'll wait for something to go on. And I think the big thing, Judy, for this year that we've seen, hello, Darth, is there's something going on with the Muyan. We saw the Muyan all apart on St. Patrick's Day, and I thank John Snoopy that all the Muyan sensors were taken apart or the barricades were all apart. And then Osprey flew over on the 27th, only 2 days ago, and all the sensors are back. Makes no sense to me. So something's going on with Muyan, guys. That's a first here. You heard it first here on the Quest channels, Judy.
Yes, they have. So keep your eyes open, guys. There might be more to come.
Yep. Hello, Kathy. Thanks for coming in. The hook's in the house. Got to thank my moderators. Hello, Joanne. Thank you to Tammy, Judy, Daniel, Starlene, Michelle, Kathy, BC, and Tanya from Portugal, and our lifetime contributor, Chris Dona. Of course, I always got to thank my main members. 70,000 of them are on the Facebook side, the Quest of Oak Island. Also now our YouTube channel. We're about 1,450,000 views, Judy.
Wow.
I thank the YouTube guys. We also live stream not only to YouTube, but Facebook Live and Twitter Live. So Twitter's getting some kind of footing that I like to see. We got to start from someplace, Judy.
Yes, we do. And John, you've already worked your way up once. You'll do it again.
Yep. And also we got to thank Spotify for podcasters. We're approaching 25,000 plays. The ones they use mostly on Apple, Google, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon, all those channels. But Spotify, Judy, actually sees the download of this show, and the rest just get the audio. But we're moving up the ladder on that too. And I thank you, everybody listening in on Spotify for podcasters. Last night's episode was a quadrilateral move, episode 18. Next week, we have Ramping Up, episode 19, that they're back in the swamp. And then episode 20 is a drilling down European connection. That's April 11th. The Ramping Up says, after a long wait, the Fellowship finally gets permission to return to the excavations in the swamp. Almost immediately, they make a discovery that could connect all the cobblestone dots in the mysterious blog. Cobblestone dots. So maybe they're talking about the roads or the wharfs, Judy. I have no idea.
Yeah, sounds like it, yes.
Alrighty, guys. Hello, Becky. Thanks for coming in. There's Becky. Alrighty. Well, like I said, I posted a little video which I think, hi Gary, if it upsets me, it must upset maybe, I don't know, 10 more people in the world. I want to see if you agree with me or not. This is my own personal opinion, guys. All right? We're going to go through hello, Gary. We're going to go through a couple of slides here. Are you ready, guys?
for it, John.
This is my pre-podcast rant. I want to just show you a couple things first. Here we go. All right, we had a picture of Cone C, which is the beach rock in front of Tom Nolan's cottage. Correct?
Yes.
Does this look like a cone?
No, it doesn't.
Hello, Dan. How are you? I'll say it one more time. Does this look like a cone? I don't think so. So that was my first question. Well, it's man-made. Their shape is a cone. They're made by the Templars or whoever did it, the Portuguese or whatever. I see no shape of a cone. Even if it wore down, would have some shape of a pear, wouldn't it?
I would think it would, John.
You know, if you have a rock that goes to a point, well, after a while, okay, a couple of thousand years, it would wear down, but it would still sort of represent a pear-looking thing, right?
Yes, it would.
So that's my first thing I was thinking of.
Kathy thinks that looks like a fan.
No idea. All right, we're going to the left. Now, this was some walls in the Azores, I think, that Mr. Spino showed. And we'll read about what he said about these after Judy's podcast. The synopsis. But this is just a wall I wanted to show you. I stuck in there from a different place, showing it. You know what I mean?
Sure,
England.
well built, isn't it?
England, stone wall. Thank you, Daniel.
England.
And they're mostly either defense or boundary markers. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I heard a long time ago, and I was searching like crazy yesterday through my CDs, that it was told to us that one stone wall saying was a ramp to wheel barrels from the wharf up to a ramp. So if you guys can help me, they said something about a ramp, that there was another stone wall. I don't know what lot it was, that they said it was a ramp. So guys and researchers, work on that for me. Thank you.
I think, John, there was somebody in chat on our page today mentioned that. So just take a look under Daniel's post.
I haven't been there, so I don't know.
Okay.
Now this, guys, here comes my rant. Are you ready? You guys sitting down? Last night during the show, the big thing to me was, while the drilling operation gets closer to its destination, the fellowship is shocked. They are shocked, guys. They are shocked when they uncovered evidence of an ancient safe. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're calling a hole in the ground an ancient safe, a hole that Fred Nolan already dug out in 1993, already put a drill pod down there, and you're calling that an evidence of an ancient safe. I know Rick said, well, rocks on top, clay in the middle, all that stuff. But Fred Nolan dug this out. Fred Nolan put all this stuff back. This is the same spot of the treasure spot, because we know, because we see the drill casing in there. I don't know what the production's doing. I don't know about how long they're stretching this out, and even with the stretch out of trying to tie things in with the Templars now. Don't forget the Templars will be coming. You know what I mean? The Templars will be coming. But what do they think we are? Couldn't they put in there something else than, you know, an agent safe, crack the safe? Is it just a big joke? Are these announcements just big jokes to attract more newer viewers? Not us, not me. On the left is our safe. It looks like a meteorite hit it. You see it?
Yes.
On the right,
Wow.
on the right, that's Fred Nolan's treasure pit. Same thing. When he dug out the 56 boulders. And I know they shoot the show, then they shoot it again, then the producers watch everything. Then the producers pick out the scenes they want to focus on. Then it's sent to the editors. The editors give notes to help condense it, and then they edit again. But I want to know who the storyteller is here. I want to know who the storyteller is here. There's got to be somebody, because these guys, the fellowship, they walk around, they do all their searching. If it's a coffee can, it's a hook, it's a gem, they're doing their job. Us guys and them are doing the job. You know, you understand what I'm saying?
Completely, yes.
So they're out there looking. But it's how the producers in the storyline, when they come up with these things, has got me hot. And here's the stones that he took out of that pit. Tree stumps. You got to go to William Croker. All in his book, right there. And he also says he drilled a drill hole 125 feet to a void. All right?
Yes.
Here's, I took a better picture of the treasure site, or our ancient safe. There it is. Would you want to deposit your bank account in here?
Not on your life.
And already, by Fred Nolan's own account, if you look to the left, Judy, you see he went down 11 feet to the surface. You see ground surface on top.
Yes.
And then there's another 2-foot spot. So he went down 13 feet in this hole. I'm not saying when he barged over the drill to put the drill hole in. So this hole was 13 feet deep by his drawing. And what do you see to the right? Charcoal.
Yes.
Why were stumps in there? Maybe they burned some trees in there. Why was the stump there? Maybe they burned trees, right?
Yes, could very well be.
So we know he went down 13 feet. There were stumps in there. And to the right, there was charcoal. So when they're looking and digging, oh, look at this. There's some charcoal. Look at this. This is burnt. Yeah, Fred Nolan did this in 1993. All right. They didn't have maybe the technology to date the charcoal, or if he had the money to do that. But can you see that word charcoal in there, guys?
Clearly, John, yes.
From 30 years ago. 30 years ago. And blue clay. And how did this hole get filled up, Scott? By a tide washing it in? No. He filled it back in. He backfilled this hole in 1993. There's our ancient safe. This is almost as worse for me as the doorknob, the golden doorknob. It's just not right. They don't realize what they're doing when they print stuff like that. I mean, people just read it, it's just a TV show, but we're more into it than a TV show. Don't you think, guys?
I think so, John. It really has become part of our lives. And out of respect for all the people that are involved, I think they should think about what they're saying.
But they don't watch the show. None of them watch the show. None of the fellowship watch the show at all. Nobody. It's how they're doing the storyline. That's all in Las Vegas. No, I mean, Los Angeles. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, right.
Tammy, 13 feet, and plus you dropped a drill borehole in 125 feet where you see that pipe to a supposedly void. So, if Rick said it, you know, a key to the safe. You know how Rick is, very emotional, very trying to put things together. But I don't blame him for this because he's saying what's on his mind, like I would say. But I surely wouldn't say, well, maybe it's safe. Rocks on top, clay on the bottom, waterproofing, just like the money pits going on. But they shouldn't have took that piece and called this episode the finding from an ancient safe to 3 million people.
Exactly. We all expected to see a safe, didn't we, when we started watching the show?
Guys, guess how many emails I got? Emails and PMs. Guess.
I'm afraid to, John. How many?
All around the world.
Whoa.
That I looked, about 375 people from around the world are asking, John, did I miss it? What are you missing? Did I miss the safe? What safe? There was no safe. And if there was a treasure below this pit, Fred Nolan would have saw it. It would have came out of his drill bit when he drilled that hole. Right?
Yes, I agree.
Ray R. 3. The hell are you talking about? 3. You don't know my group, Ray. You may know other groups, but you don't know my group. And this is, Daniel Spino had this on the page. I just couldn't wait. Look at Dr. Spooner's face when Rick said an agent safe. And of course, they got to say, yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. I agree with you. Isn't anybody there saying, hey, what's in your Dr. Pepper? What the heck are you talking about? An agent safe? We're in a mud hole here. So I just wish they would look at things a little bit more directive, a little bit more professional to us. If you're going to say evidence of an ancient safe to 3 million people and show this, and new viewers saw that, I still don't know how they're getting 3 million viewers a week, but that's just absurd to me. That's my own personal opinion, guys. It makes me sick.
I think a lot of people agree with you, John. We're tired of it.
So that's my rant. This beats the doorknob almost, but almost not. It's real close to the golden doorknob. We found gold, and they showed me a golden doorknob from a dresser drawer or something. I just don't think it's fair to us. I don't think it's fair to the show. I don't think it's fair to the people that have been watching them and watching every word they say and picture for 10 years. So there's my rant. So Tammy says exactly what was the evidence. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And there's no treasure below the treasure pit because if there was, Fred Nolan's drill bit would have came up with something. And I think the big thing we saw this week, like I said in the beginning, Muyan. Something's going on with Muyan. Maybe the technology broke down, the upload broke down because the sensors are back in a spot that they weren't in. They were supposed to be taken out, and now they're going in the same spot. So something happened there, Judy. So otherwise, nothing would be there. You know what I mean? It'd be all taken away and gone.
I agree. It'll be interesting to see if we maybe find out this coming year.
Well, we're into 18, 19, 20 episodes. We got nothing Muyan. I like to say what we got so far, but I can't say it over the air. I'd have to change the ratings of my videos. So they got me really crazy. You should have heard me in Discord last night, right, guys?
I told you guys we had an interesting podcast tonight.
So then when you hear they're trying to push the Templar peace, they don't realize what they're doing. And Lori, the clay was high there for some reason. No, we don't know why. There's clay all over there, but deeper, like at 40 feet. I think they're only down 4 or 5 feet.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure, David, he drilled more holes and only put one case on, the little case on in. You're going to go through all that and drill just one hole, David? Wrong. David, wrong. I'm talking to you. You got my attention, David. You think he just drilled one hole? If you're looking for a treasure, you're going to dig just one 4-inch hole, and that's it, leave. After you barged a drill in, because there was no causeway at the time, you would drill a multiple of holes. That we don't have proof that it's done, but I'm just saying the way Fred Nolan would be, and leave one in at the end. Don't you agree with me, Judy?
I do. 100%. That was a lot of work.
So, David, if you want to rebuttal me, go ahead. Type away. I'm ready for you. Or just leave. Not the night to challenge me. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, Lori, they were 13 feet down, as Fred Nolan's chart said. But I guess they found clay higher up. And there was wood in clay. Now, how would wood in clay get there? He dug it up. He refilled it. He dug it up. He refilled it. How else would that would backfill the wood gets in the clay? That's not natural. You know what I'm saying, guys? You hear me, Judy?
Yes, I can. And John, you're right. You're making perfect sense. If he refilled that thing, then what they're into is not natural soil.
Right. Below 13 feet, okay. Situ, they call it. You got the layers of clay. You got the layers of sand. But right now, maybe they need a permit to go deeper. That's why it's full of wood or burnt wood. He threw anything he had in there to fill that hole up and put the rocks on top. But maybe I'm wrong. This is my own personal mojo of what I'm going by, what I'm being told, and what they're showing us on the show. So
it would be interesting to know if Fred did have plans to go back in there at some point in time.
Sure. I mean, it only takes money, and maybe he just didn't have it at the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Here's Robot. He's got something to say here. I'm happy as can be. Since 2014, I've shown my star map to 60,000 viewers on my thread. 60,000. I mean, 600,000. Showing Nolan's Cross. Cone A points to the entrance to the treasure vault. Right on lot 13. In the same position, Robot, in the treasure pit? Or just around? Yep, Scott. Just dig next to it where it wasn't disturbed and see the layers. Just like I told them when we were doing the 900-year-old well. Well, go off the well 8 feet and put a test hole in and see if it's the same stuff that you're getting out of the twigs and the rocks over there, Judy, you know?
Yeah, geez, John, that'd be a great idea, wouldn't it?
You got to go by, that goes back to my surveying days. You got to go to a benchmark or something that is natural that you can compare to. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes, Terry. And he plotted everything. Being as professional as Nolan was, as you can see through his maps, it would have done a grid map, which he did, and covered the entire area, which he did. If he hit it with the first drill, he would have wanted to do more extensive digging. Right. So say the driller cost you $300 a hole. Well, I got $1,000. Do 3 or 4 of them. Didn't find anything. The last one, just leave it in there. They're not going to make it out of a drinking well,
Right.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So that was
And
my.
he obviously never. I was going to say, John, that he obviously never did go down to find out what the void was.
Well, some kind of information told him wasn't worth it. Or
Okay.
you didn't have the money to do it. We don't know. We'll never know. So if they start digging down 30 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet, and then you got my attention, not when you're digging out backfill and exclaiming you got wood in the clay. It's backfill. That's how wood got in the clay. Hello, Tammy. Thanks for coming in. All right. All right, Judy, you got your water going?
I do, John.
Yep, Joanne, I hear you. We got that truckload of silver coming. Watch out for that. You got to show us something, Joanne. Okay, Judy, your picture's on the phone. Take over. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, everybody, we got season 10, episode 18, Quadrilateral Move. It's a bright and hopeful new day on Oak Island, and Craig arrives at the garden shop to get an update from Dumas. He learns the cribbing is finished to 67 feet down, and the team has begun the drilling of 12 holes going into the side walls. There will be 3 holes in each side going in 12 feet at different angles. Samples of clay and wood are also being taken for testing. Over on lot 13, Rick, Tom, and the team have arrived to begin digging in the 32 feet long quadrilateral boulder construction found by Fred Nolan. Unfortunately, Fred never did find out the purpose of the construction, so hopefully the fellowship can finish the job. As Billy digs and Gary detects, the team finds the open top of a metal pipe Fred put down 125 feet, where he hit a void. At 4 feet down, they find blue clay and charcoal. There definitely was some burning went on here, and the clay matches the clay found in the money pit and the eye of the swamp. Were these 3 constructions built by the same people? Terry wonders if the clay was used to protect a construction below. If so, what kind of structure? The following morning, back on lot 13, Ian is examining the quadrilateral stone structure. He points out the different colors in the layer of sediment-rich clay on the bottom and says the colors prove it's being burnt. It's not natural and is out of place. Rick states this is a possible medieval safe. Ian says that whatever is under the clay is important. They will wait for Tom before they dig further. Later in the war room, the team is meeting with Portuguese researcher Francisco via video. Francisco believes that the Order of Christ, an offshoot of the Templars, were on Oak Island in the 14th and 15th centuries, and the stone wall on Lot 26 matches walls used in Portugal at that time. After the death of the King of Portugal in 1580, there was war, and a large portion of gold vanished. The Order of Christ left for the New World for their safety. Did they take the gold with them and hide it on Oak Island? Rick says it's possible. Later that afternoon, the team and Tom are again on Lot 13. Ian, pointing at the clay, says, "This shouldn't be here. Someone had to have transported it to this spot." Rick says this could be original work, and Ian points out since there is organic material in the clay, it can be dated. Ian finds a piece of metal that Gary says is an old hand-forged staple used in wood. Off to the lab it goes. The following morning, the team meets with Carmen as he examines that iron staple that he says was used to change the direction of rope lines. Craig asks if it could be used to pull boulders into place, and Carmen says it definitely could have been. Emma points out the XRF machine shows it to be 98% iron, so that makes it medieval, says Carmen. Marty wants to see what's at the bottom of the quadrilateral structure. Back at the money pit area, the team is getting an update by Paul from Dumas. They have drilled several of the side holes in the shaft walls and, unfortunately, have found nothing man-made. They will keep drilling. The next day, in the war room, the team is updated on the stone wall, also called double-skinned wall, on Lot 26. This type of wall has two outside walls, and the center is filled with cobble and stones. Craig has the carbon dating results of the charcoal found at the bottom of the wall earlier. Craig happily gives the date of 1474 to 1638. Was this structure created over 500 years ago? And did the Order of Christ build it? If so, what for? This date coincides with the Portuguese age of exploration, so it's possible the order was responsible. Rick declares we have much more work to do, and Marty says, get after it. We need the answers to where, what, when, who, why, and how. Will those answers ever come? Only one way to find out. Stay tuned next week, Questers, and stay safe, please.
Thank you so much, Judy. Very, very good. Very, very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Joanne, they have an agreement with Tom Nolan in case the treasure is on his land. All right, let's go through these screenshots. It will be posted on the Quest of Oak Island Facebook site. And Judy's synopsis will be posted also for you all to read.
Thank you, everybody, for your encouragement. You guys are the best.
Here they are starting at the money pit. There's Paul Cody. There's Greg Tester. Had to put him in there. Scott. Drilling in the money pit area in the green shaft. They're at 67 feet. Dumas. $60 years prior. Then the wood with gold, inside and outside. At that 55 feet, Judy, because the thing was flooded for so many years, it just absorbed some gold flakes at the 55-foot level.
Right. Yeah, it's the bottom we want to see.
Yep, from 80 to 120 feet. I hear you. Some at 95 feet, the tunnel going under the garden shaft. There's a little drawing how they're drilling around the garden shaft. Here's the quadrilateral site where they're digging. There's Tom Nolan. There's the guys ready to dig. There's Billy.
Couldn't do it without him.
Notice all the fence posts piled up behind the stones. You see that?
Yes.
Yes, Richard. The garden shaft only went to 80 feet, correct. This is another dimension, a horizontal view, how big it was, 32 by 27 by 16 by 24. Very big section. They're not even close to that, Judy.
No, they're not, John. You look at it and think, what was it for?
And there's the vertical view. The charcoal throws me off. What are they burning wood in there for? Just to burn shrubbery? Because they weren't farming there in the 1500s and the 1600s. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, it seems strange to me, too. You got to wonder what they were doing.
Yep, Gloria. I don't think they were farming. At the time, 500 years ago, I don't think nothing was there. That's why I was thinking it was a defense. It was a wall, a defense for some reason. Or as they said, a ramp. Not sure, Judy. They got me all confused.
I think we all are.
You know, a lot of blue clay. The whole place is full of blue clay. Just like the eye of the swamp. Blue clay. And there's the metal they found. There's the burnt wood. I mean, if you're on a land or a lot, you would have a pit and you would just burn the wood to clear it out. You know, Judy?
Right, exactly. Why is that still there?
Caroline, what do you need? What does that oblong box at the bottom represent? I don't know. It's 2 foot wide. They got stumps, charcoal. They don't have it labeled, Caroline. You see what she's saying? That long rectangle box below the rocks. Yeah. We know it's 2 foot wide. Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Gotta find some metal in there. No worries, David. Cook away. Yep, Tim. That's why they got choice drilling. Bring the rig over there, drill it up, Judy.
Oh, John, I would do that right away.
Yep. I mean, after they got all the rocks out, obviously.
Right, exactly. See if there is a void there.
Renee says Portuguese used low walls for farm animals. Could be. No idea. And I caught him with the GoPro camera. See the GoPro camera on Billy's bucket there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for goodness sakes, yep.
Yeah, Kurt, we don't know. If it's a wall, is it a ramp? We all know is the age now, 500 years old. Yep, Lori, put a sewer can down there once they get the muck out of the hole. Don't know, Terry. We don't find out a lot about Fred Nolan's secret book there, so maybe starting to let loose a little bit, you know what I mean?
Oh, I sure hope they publish it someday.
Yeah, and that's what people say, a robot that's in the swamp. It's sealed with blue clay. But now they say the week after next, well, they found a metal box in the swamp. Okay, guys. Believe it or not.
We'll believe it when we see it, right?
Yep. I'm like Marty and even worse. When you give me something in my hand, enough of these 1.1% of gold, gold is getting higher as we go deeper. I don't want to hear that no more. I want to see it in my hand. Come see me when it's in my hand. And if it's not there, we move on. We make it a tourist destination.
Right.
And work on the other side of the island. They've been working in the money pit for 250 years or whatever it is, and they've found nothing. History, yes. Artifacts, yes. Surface finds we're finding. So maybe that's telling you something. If you don't find nothing there after all this time, maybe there's nothing there. And that's why, what's my big word, Judy?
John, I don't know. You have too many of them.
Holy Muyan!
Okay. Sorry about that.
The Muyan was supposed to show us voids and everything else. I'm so dependent on this Muyan, and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. I don't think we're going to get it from them pictures we got shown on the 27th. They either got newer sensors, something didn't upload when they were uploading all the information to their main control room up there in Canada, because those sensors weren't doing sensors there to get information. Those sensors were traveling Wi-Fi to their headquarters. You see what I'm saying?
Right, yes. Yeah, that's a long way.
So who was asking me about clay? This is at 40 foot in the money pit. That's where they had a layer of blue clay. Yep, Kylie, the producers or I want to know who the storyteller is. I don't know what guy it is. But he's the storyteller. If he wants to go to the angle of more of the Templars, he gets more researchers going on the Templar side. Or the same guy that's writing 50 books about the same thing over and over to make money on books, they go to him for more Templars. Then if they go to another direction, they'll go to those people. So they know what they're doing. We're on the hook, guys. What do you think?
Yes, I think you're right.
They steer us like a big car, whatever which way they want to go. I'm not saying the fellowship that walk out there every day and metal detect and dig and Billy and digging. It's the way it's put together now, how it's controlled the way we see it, on the TV side.
Right. I agree, John. Too many people are actually starting to tell me that we don't watch it anymore.
Yep, me too. There's the old eye of the swamp. Don't forget, guys, if you like the podcast, you like our chat and everything, please support. please hit that like button if you can. There's like 110 people. We got about 8 likes. If you can, please support, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because I'm on all over the place. So I don't know what I'm doing half the time. And I'm on all different hours, Judy, to put on a video so you will know.
Yes. Guys, you never know when he's going to show up. I promise.
Not my podcast with Judy and the pre-show. You know, like it's on the Mondays and Sundays and Saturdays and Fridays. I'm all over the place. Pot C, thanks for coming in. What is your opinion of being more than one treasure, multiple areas with treasure? I say no. I say there's only one big treasure here, if any. If it's there or not, no idea. I don't think many people during the decades maybe saw it as a treasure vault, whatever that was, the money pit area, and used it. But the more you use it, loose lips sink ships. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right. Yes, John.
So,
for sure.
So the more people using the shaft over decades, over centuries, I wouldn't want to put it there anymore, because you got the workers there. I don't know if they killed them after they deposited or whatever they had to do. But I believe it's just basically one treasure mining distillery tax evasion type of deal.
So lots of smuggling went on, right?
Yep. Hello, Susan. There could have been smuggling there. Could have been a treasure vault there. But just show us. Just show us something in an empty vault, an empty tunnel, an empty. They were digging there for something. Was it a little bit of a gold in there? Because Gold River up the way, you'd find all kinds of gold just on the beach. You know, was it a spot for that? Is the gold signature coming in because Gold River's just up the block there? I mean, we love the show. We support them. But when they're bad, and I feel they're bad, this is my own personal opinion, I tell it the way it is. I'm not one of these podcasters that, I'm not going to say that. Maybe nobody will come on my show and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. No, I tell it the way it is. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes, John, you always have, and that's why I'm here.
And then I was getting this spot. You can see the tractor top. If you go to the Q of quadrilateral and you go up an inch, you see the top of the tractor. I was trying to look to see how far this spot was away from his homestead or his cottage. You know what I mean? That's what I was looking for in this shot.
Okay.
Could be, Wayne. Yep, Renee. And what do you see on TV or they advertise? Where's Kids Treasure? What's Area 51? Where's the Ark? Where's the Menorah? It's all the same shows over and over and over, and nobody's come up with anything. Except for the ship guys, that they actually have logs in Europe, what kind of gold and what kind of booty that they had. And they actually find the ship off the coast of Florida or the Caribbean, and they actually find it. You know, Judy?
Right. Yes, John. And if they can do that, surely they can find something on Oak Island or near Oak Island.
Yeah, because Corian's over there on the European side. We'll probably hear from him in a couple of weeks on the show. Not my show, on the TV show. There has to be some kind of connections or something written down somewhere. And here they are back on lot 13. Could be, Scott. There's Dr. Spooner. We found a layer of clay below the stones. Okay. Yeah, something rowdy. Or rowdy. He was into the evasion of taxes and doing backdoor deals on the island with the British and the Americans, whatever they're doing, stolen ammunition, stuff like that, backdoor stuff, you know. Yeah, Tim, I don't know what Muyan showed. I'll never know. I'll never find out. They'll never tell me. But like I said, the only thing I know is something happened there that they were supposed to be taken out. They're not taken out, and they're back as of March 27th, 2023. Here we go in the war room. This is that researcher from the Azores, Francisco. They like all these foreign people, you know what I mean?
Yes, and I want to say, John, to anybody that reads my synopsis online, I did spell Francisco's last name wrong. I didn't catch it all. So, Francisco, if you see it, please forgive me. I did not mean to do that.
Yeah. Don't we got anybody like from Texas or Florida or Missouri? We always got to have these foreign people. I guess that's showbiz. You know what I mean, guys?
and it's harder to say their names.
You know, they like that, you know. I mean, if people and persons have good research and detailed research, they should be presented as also. You know what I mean, guys?
Right. And we know some people like that.
Yep. And there's Judy. She's back. She used to work with Xena Halpern.
I wish they'd do an interview with her and just talk about Xena.
Yeah, she never.
What her life was like.
Yeah, she never does. I can ask her if she wants to come on, but I don't know. She's not the podcast type, I don't think.
Yeah, it could be too. She's very quiet, I think. Yep. I would love to hear about Xena.
Yep. She's like Steve. I mean, they know a lot of information, and they're afraid they might say the wrong things because they don't know what's on the show themselves, so they just stay away. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
Here's Richard. The demand for the Curse of Oak Island is 12.8 times the demand of the average U.S. Well, how the heck you know that? You a producer or something? Spill it out, Richard. So they're pumping in that cash. Yup, Scott. We got Daniel. That's all we need. And here's the professor. The treasure they referred to last night was a combination of a collection from the citizens of the Azores for the defense of the islands, rumored treasure of the House of Aziz, and Dom Antonio's minting equipment. It was spirited away before the Spanish attacked the Azores in 1583. It was never seen again, and the colony in Nova Scotia was the most logical place it could have been taken. I wrote about this extensively last year in the Quest of Oak Island group. Professor, you're just the best. We got to get them reading your synopsises on everything you research. That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
But they don't listen to me, so. Yep, Tim, we know all about the NDAs. Yep, Renee, they can't take the cross away from us, so something's happened there. Will we ever find out? I don't know, but Nolan's cross is there, Judy. There's no way they can do anything with that. It's just there.
Yes, exactly, John. Yeah, certainly there's lots there for all of us to think about. But sometimes it gets a little irritating when we hear that it's going to be about a safe this week and then there was no safe. That's irritating.
Yep. A couple of pieces that they found that were Portuguese. Yep, Rowdy. I mean, I support the show just like all my members do, 1,000%. You know, it's my own opinion. Everybody's got their own opinion. That's what the show's about. And that's what the group's about. I present what I say.
Exactly.
You present what you say, believe me or not, or believe the researchers when they come on. It's all up for grabs. You know what I mean, guys? I'm just the middleman. Rowdy, they use dynamite in the money pit. Dunfield. That's how things get all mixed up. They'd never do that, Richard. Steve's got a 3D map going on. And boy, would I like to see that.
Really, yeah.
That's not for us to see. You know what I mean, guys?
Right.
You know, they say it was just a TV show. Well, yes, but we're all looking for not an ending, but some solutions to some things they come up with, and we don't. Everything's opened.
Yes, exactly.
Yep, Renee. We're watching them. And here's the rock wall, he said. Very strange in the middle of nowhere. There's this guy. Francisco. I don't know where they found him from.
I think he was one of those researchers that Rick hired before they left Portugal.
But to me, this wall still seems like a boundary wall. It's so low. You know, what did they do on Lot 26 with Sam Ball? But you got to think, it's 500 years old. So Sam Ball wasn't there to clear the land how he cleared it for the cabbage. And I heard something about before, a long time ago, that there was some stonework they saw, but it was going to the bay, and they used it for a ramp. And that's what I'm looking up the minute I get off line after I post a synopsis, that they said it was a ramp. Maybe it's on a different lot. I don't know. So you guys got to help me out and try to research. There was a wall that was a ramp, but many years ago, guys, many years ago.
Oh, Daniel says that Francisco is their research archivist in the Azores.
Okay. Good for him.
Thanks, Daniel.
Some kind of treasure in the 16th century from Portugal to Oak Island? Could be. And everybody else. All speculation, guys. All speculation. Until we have some kind of proof. I hope I'm still alive.
I hope so too, John.
Yep, Scott, that was it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Scott says it's perpendicular to the water, not parallel. So a boundary wall versus the fence wall. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I'm trying to think, what the heck would that wall be? Doesn't look like a foundation at all. Not unless they had real skinny houses.
Really?
Where's your bedroom? 40 feet down to the left, but there's no left. It's just a straight hallway. Or it's a foundation that they didn't finish. They ran out of stones. How's that sound?
That could be too.
They're comparing it to the the rock wall and the stone path here, which I think is a wharf. I still don't think it's a path. Yep, Kurt, you can't use one buried piece of charcoal to date the wall. I mean, but that's all they got to go by. You know what I mean?
Right. Tim says we need a time machine, and yes, we do.
Oh, yeah. And then I was talking to Osprey Muyan. We looked for the wall. We just couldn't find it. And thank you so much, Osprey, to look. But maybe it's way inboard, from the bay, you know what I'm saying? And now is the best time to find it because all the foliage is down, Judy?
Right, yes. So if you couldn't find it now, you're not going to find it.
Yeah, just to give us an overhead type of thing to look in and just see, where you see pictures here. The best thing is the video, guys.
Right, for sure.
Yup, Renee, they rebuilt everything. They restructured everything. They didn't throw nothing out. Your shovel broke, they did something to make it something else. Not sure, Richard. I would say a wharf more than a road. And those guys knew the stone road or wharf was in there in 1795. McGinnis, Smith, and Vaughn knew there was a road or pathway in the swamp way back then. But what did they care? You know what I mean?
Right, obviously. They didn't.
Thank you, Jeff. Here's Sandra, a new member. Thank you so much for joining, Sandra. You got the time zones. I saw your post. In my opinion, there were lots of seafarers in the area off and on. So who's to say that all of them didn't use the island as a deposit? Ball found something, or else how did he get rich? Very, very good. So if they all found this island in a spot that they deposited, where's the spot? The money pit? That's the only hole we know. That's it. The money pit they use. There's no other holes on the island. There's no back door that we can find. There's no nothing. That's what gets me going, Sandra. You know what I mean, Judy?
Yes, John. And it's quite possible that Samuel Ball made his money off of smuggling.
Yep.
That's very possible.
A lot of money in whiskey and in rum.
Yes.
I mean, they weren't having turkey stuff and dinners, these guys. They all drank and they didn't have no chicken wings then. You know what I mean?
Right, for sure.
They didn't have lasagna. I guess on the island like this here would be a good deal to get some deer meat, because if you chase them off the island with no causeway, they would get caught in the water, and you can catch the deer in the water and have a feast. You know what I mean?
Right, for sure. And there still are deer there.
Scott says cabbage farming was the front. You got it. I'm with Daniel Spino.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Could be, Richard. Roberta, let me give her some FaceTime here. Privateering was a big business. Yep. Could be, Renee. All kinds of stuff. But here we are 10 years into it. I want some answers. You can't keep on going with no answers, because then those guys Marty won't run out of money, but like everybody before them, even though we got this new technology, we're still in the rut. We got Muyan, we got these 3D scanners, we got pictures from the satellites, we got all this stuff, we got nothing. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right, John. And you know what? They're not getting any younger, and neither are we.
There's the professor. Smuggling was going on, but you won't hear that on the show. It doesn't fit the narrative, guys.
Right.
The hook. You better be ready with a big hook, Kathy. I want to see the biggest hook you got at the end of this season. And those were the rocks were piled up on lot 13. And of course, again, the deeper they go, the more gold, high evidence trace of gold is the deeper they go. Okay. Yeah, Richard, they found a lot of more artifacts. I think, what they say, 1,000 artifacts they found last season? I think Steve said 1,000.
Yes, I think it was.
So we'll see. We'll see what they say for this year. There they are on lot 13 in that hole there. Yep, Daniel, if they conclude everything, then they don't have any show. I hear you.
That's true.
But all things come to an end. Somehow. I think. Now, this sort of confused me. You guys see this screenshot here with Dr. Spooner to the right and that rod, that white rod under that dark dirt?
Yes.
Nolan's dig and another older dig. What the heck is that supposed to mean?
Could it mean that Nolan's went down so far and then the original was below that?
Nolan's dig and an older dig. Well, we know it's just Fred Nolan digging. So I'm sort of confused on that. And they're no way 13 feet deep, because I just showed you the hole with Dr. Spooner standing there. He's not no 13 feet high.
Right. Yes.
Right. I understand it's two different digs. But Fred Nolan went down 13 feet. That rod should be 13 feet down.
Good night, Tammy Williams. Have a good night.
Good night, Tammy. Thanks for coming in. Hope you're feeling okay. See what I'm saying there, though?
Yes, we do.
So you got Fred Nolan digging it down 13 feet. You got Dr. Spooner putting a little white rod saying Fred Nolan's dig. Then I guess he stopped, refilled it, and then an older dig. Makes no sense to me. Just putting it out there, guys.
Oh, hopefully they'll explain it at some point.
Does that hole look 13 feet deep to you?
No, it doesn't.
Richard, the area was almost 32 feet square. Then they found this fan center, this staple. We saw our buddy Carmen Legg. And there's the complete hole. Take care, Susan. Thanks for coming in. Here's our main man. There he is, Carmen on the left side.
He knew what that was right away, John. And I've never seen one before. It was interesting, actually. Susan, you enjoy the show on Sunday night here in Canada, okay?
Yeah. Let me read something to Richard. Richard Rowan. This is from William Croker, who was close with Nolan, a researcher and a book writer. At his treasure site, Nolan bit into the topsoil with his backhoe and struck a stone barrier at a depth of 2 feet. He peeled away the topsoil and uncovered a paving of granite boulders covering an area of about 40 feet square. Each boulder weighed between 2 and 5 tons. Digging downward, he removed 56 boulders to a depth of 11 feet. It was a complete mass of heavy granite boulders in a pit, he said. They were definitely man-placed because the sides of the bottom of the pit were in undisturbed soil, but the soil inside the excavation between the boulders was loose. Nolan found old tree stumps along the boulders at the bottom of the pit. They didn't get down there under the rocks on their own, Nolan said. Further evidence that what Nolan had found was man-made came from the appearance of the stones. So it's 40 square feet, and it was a depth of 11 feet before he started drilling there, Richard. So I wanted to tell you that from there. Did they come across clear?
Yes, you did.
Yep, David. Give him a piece of metal. Here it is. This is what it is. This is the year. Like I told my members, Richard, it's Tracking Treasure by William Croker. He's got 3 books out. I got them all a long time ago because I wanted the Nolan side of it. So this one's coming out of Tracking Treasure in Search of the East Coast Bounty, William S. Croker. Very, very interesting. I think if people are into Oak Island, they should get it. You're welcome. Take care, Renee. Thanks for coming in.
Now, Scott says it would be very hard to pull a rope through that with a boulder on the end of it to change direction.
Well, that's what they're saying it was used for, so who knows? I don't think about boulders, but
right. Would be interesting to see it in action.
Daniel, you're precisely 100,000% right. Since the quadrilateral was backfilled, wouldn't it be contaminated? Yeah. And not the original composition? Sure. All your backfill seeps down. From 30 years ago, that backfill on the top seeped down into the thing even deeper. It don't seep up. You know what I'm saying, Judy?
Yes, exactly, John. I thought about that as I was watching the show.
And there's Emma saying it's 98% iron. No AU, Gary, no AU. And here's the probe drilling inside the garden shaft. I got that one map, but it came out kind of fuzzy. And that's how they're doing the sides as they go down, guys.
Okay.
He's been a blacksmith for 1,000,000 years, Richard. Very expertise. And that red spot is where they're drilling the holes now. You look at the garden shaft, Judy, and on the red side there, that red mark, that's where they're drilling the holes out, I think 10 feet.
Okay. Wow.
Then here's this crazy wall we went looking for. This is the end where Laird was digging out. So either it's a wall that they didn't finish for a foundation, some kind of boundary wall, just something very, very strange. Because every one of those rocks had to be picked up, you know, Judy. Imagine how long it took them to do that.
Oh, I can't even imagine it. I can't.
And we would find a bunch of ox shoes around there if it was all hauled, if it was loaded on an ox cart from the beach or whatever, or different places on the island to pile them there. We haven't found no ox shoes there yet that I know of.
No, I don't think we have. No.
It's 500 years old. Or maybe they went fishing and they dried all the fish on top of this, on top of these rocks, and then they took off with the dried fish on the ships.
Again, that's a possibility.
There it be.
Oh, Daniel's right. Daniel's right. He says, I like Carmen. Please take away his subtitles. I found it odd there were no subtitles for the Portuguese researcher. I agree, Daniel.
Roberta, I have no idea what they're doing. If I owned an island, okay, let's get to lot 1. Survey it. GPS it. Metal detect every inch of lot 1. Okay, nothing here. Oh, there's a hit or here or there. Okay, lot 1's done. Now let's go to lot 2. And if it needs permits and stuff like that, now we're jumping around so much, we're just on a big old merry-go-round. You know what I mean, Roberta? And also, Kurt, yes, they're going by that one piece of charcoal. What else they got to go by? And the other thing with the tree, what was that, 250 years old? The tree was growing out of the side of it down there someplace on this wall, or is that a different wall? I don't know.
No, it was this wall. I think that was the right number of years.
Yeah. And the piece of charcoal dated from 1474 to 1638. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yep, Potsy. Everyone had to be carried over. I don't know if they had wheelbarrows then, or what they used. Unbelievable, each one.
The only way they could do that fairly quickly, John, is if it was military.
Yeah, yeah. Who knows? Maybe they had cannons on there or something. What do I know? I don't know. Yep, Luann, you got that right. But I try to get used to it, but just make sense. That's all. If we're jumping around and making sense, yeah, but we don't make any sense sometimes. All right, next week is called Ramping Up. They're back in the swamp. We got some seismic testing clues that they found a metal box in the swamp. I'll show you this picture for a teaser. I gave this to our good friend Mike Brahman, who runs Dot to Dot. Please support him and Oliver, the Oak Island researcher. Because where they got the paved area there, the big paved area, I'm sort of getting lost on where the swamp is, the edge. Are you guys getting as lost as me or no?
It's hard, especially since they haven't worked there much this year at all.
Right, and I'm looking for the peninsula of Fred Nolan's peninsula. Now, is that right to the left of this red anomaly? See that peninsula coming down and the whole?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, John, if that's it.
So this is on the other side of the peninsula, Fred Nolan's peninsula. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
But
yes.
I'm not sure. I see a black line. If you go to the right, I see a small black line going, then it disappears into the yellow. Then it goes out the yellow, up on top, all the way to the top. You see it? That line?
Yes.
So I don't know if that's the outline of the swamp. I have no idea. So I got Dot to Dot working on it so we can get a layover on that swamp picture so we know exactly where it is, guys. And when I get it, I'll show it to you.
It will be interesting.
Because my brain gets really foggy when I'm on these muscle relaxers.
Daniel says the amount of samples of various kinds that give a date in the 1500s should bring us to some conclusions. And none yet.
The peninsula, I think, was pushed in from the mainland, Scott. That's how Fred Nolan got his land there. He kept on pushing it into the swamp. So there we be. Well, I got my rant in about the safe. I hope you guys either agree with me or don't agree with me, but that was my rant. And now we got to worry about a metal box in the swamp. Well, if they say it's a metal box in the swamp, let's pull up a metal box in the swamp or something metal.
Right. That would sure be great, wouldn't it?
Yep. And Daniel says it was a time of a lot of activity on the island. Yeah. Yep. All right. Now, next Wednesday, Judy will be with me doing her synopsis of next week's show, Ramping Up. We're in the swamp. Should be very interesting. I'll be on pre-show Tuesday at 6:45. Anything in between, hit that notification bell because I'm all over the place. Cindy says a pirate's lunchbox. I like that,
That's
Cindy.
a good one, Cindy.
At least we come up with something. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Judy, if you want to say your goodbyes, I'll get out of here. Oh my lordy, 40, an hour and a half we've been on. What am I doing here?
Oh, hey, it was a good night, John. I think we learned a few things too. So, everybody, I'm glad you came. It's been a great night, and I hope that you will join us again next Wednesday night when I will be here with my synopsis. And I just thank you all so much for your encouragement. In the meantime, remember, please stay safe, everybody. Please. You too, John.
Yep. I'll be talking to you soon,
night.
Judy. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay, guys. Thanks for putting up with me tonight. I just got a little ranty, but that's just me. I tell it the way it is, and I lay it all out there. So that's what my deal is. But you guys should know this by heart now. Remember, members, always go forward. You may get a setback in your life, but just believe in yourself. You believe in your dreams, no matter how old you are. It doesn't matter, for tomorrow's a never given. With this world and all these people and all these different directions we're going in, oh my lordy 40, I'm glad I grew up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s. Unbelievable. So as my friend Jan says, you be kind, you keep smiling, because you never know what that other person's going through. You just keep on smiling, and you stay strong. You stay positive, and you stay safe, like Judy says. Thanks for joining me and Judy tonight for this podcast. Thank you all that participate. We're very participationist. Is that a word? I don't know. But you guys do the best. We have the best podcast ever. I involve you as much as I can. We'll see you next Tuesday pre-show at 6:45 Eastern Time. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you. Take care, and bye-bye.